I've got to say it. As someone from EMEA casts that region, the vast majority of the time, I've missed watching Ardis on a jet. That's always normally a treat. Let's see how he fares in this one. Crashies and Victor going to sit a little deeper on the angle. I think that's going to have all the information, though. Yeah, Ardis called back in to try and handle this, and he does! 3 big kills! Beautiful work, saving his 2 teammates who'd pushed a little deeper towards CT. So what can Munchkin and Zeta achieve?
2v3 now. Snakebite sent in. Som will have caught the information on the second as well. Crisp on the first headshot. Just Munchkin now, tagged up earlier on, 20 HP left, and a classic in hand. Nothing else to work with, and Crashies will seal the deal. NRG will find themselves the pistol round here on Pearl. So a beautiful, beautiful opener here from Ardis. Again, great setup as well. 2 stacked up close here. Yes, Victor falls, but Ardis there to bail out Crashies, who got stunned up by the Trailblazer, by the way. The clearance would have been pretty easy for T1 on the way back through. Very aggressive stance to take as well.
So we see that Marshall Alpha Sire player. Beyond that, it's just classic. So again, keep it clean. See how quickly Ardis can build as well towards the knives. And poor old Munchkin. Oh dear. I wouldn't go any further on that pathway. Yeah, it does dip away. Keeps itself alive, so again, not the worst outcome possible, but beyond that, NRG just testing the waters really, taking the tour.
Finesse hasn't been spotted out on the other side yet, but Sire posted up with the Marshall. Will be greeted by a few members of NRG here as they crest the corner. And no confirmation just yet, though. T1 have lent heavily towards A. Finally now, Ban rotating back across, but Sire has to go huge if anything is to happen here in this round. Ardis finds him, though.
Yep, chip damage on Ban as well. With that sort of control, they can get the plant down. B-site's theirs.
Spike planted.
It's going to be very hard for T1 to forge any path back through as well. 1 flash to play with, yeah, Carpe's got a little bit of utility. But even with that in mind, what are you meant to do?
I don't even think NRG want to go fishing for these frags either. T1 probably just going to sit behind this and wait it out. Learning classics in hand. Probably just going to give this up to the spike. Ashes with a ghost, yeah, maybe go and explore it. Try and find some progress towards the ultimate. Too much of it, and Som actually finds 2, but Fan responds. Try and protect both rifles, though, yeah, Bulldog and Phantom carried across. Do you find the second?
Okay, 3 standing. Got what they need, as you highlighted, protecting those rifles. Now, this is when I want to start seeing T1 dictate the pace a little more. Kind of stop being told what the round's going to look like. Take some matters into their own hands, because I feel like they've been a passenger in the last, at least that last half on the second map, and now at the start here, but let's see what they come up with this time.
Munchkin actually donning the Odin here.
That's how you survive.
And a 4-play stack to maybe try and fish Finesse out of this position on B long. Finesse disengaging very quickly, actually. Not sure if there was any sound cues coming through. Munchkin just looking to commit to this span. Ardis takes a ton of damage. Still 71. Get topped off a little bit here with the regrowth.
He starts his exploration towards CT again. They've got the site that they want.
The awareness is there from T1, but again, it's that same 3-tiered setup here towards dugout.
No flash this time for Carpe, so it's got to be the dog, and Ardis gets caught here. Ban's gone down. Not sure how that happened, but oh dear. Yeah, follow-up as well. T1 held back. Unable to make anything of this. They have to back away and keep those weapons.
Munchkin finds a consolation, but this deep control, once again, like I said, that 3-layered setup towards dugout pays off for NRG. I want to see the adjustment from T1 to take another look at how they want to defend A site. I don't know if in this round they're just expecting the bread and butter Pearl gameplay of run it down B long, but Munchkin, unless he's given, you know, potentially 1 or 2 kills here with the spam from the Odin, this round is
It was always going to be.
Yeah, they're playing from the back foot.
This I need to see a little bit of a personality change here from T1. You can't let NRG just have their entire game plan against you. I don't know how you're meant to dissuade it now, but the adjustments there though, they've brought 2 additional players over towards the A side. The flash is going to be highly telling that this is a very different look. Carpe trying to, I guess, be the front man of this one. Does have side player by his side, so NRG given a different perspective here.
Looking a little more traditional in terms of the setup from T1. Munchkin will tuck in towards length, but actually now repositioning back towards Halls here. So an artist does still have his dash, so he'll be able to create a little bit of space here. As NRG reset towards B long, the spam comes out. Munchkin will be noted at least here. And the weapon revealed as well.
It's getting more and more isolated. You can see the cutoff as well towards B-Link. Munchkin now living on borrowed time. It feels like an artist close the gap. Yes, he can. Okay. Bad tries to lean in a little early, and he's going to get 2 for himself. But the plant's now down, and they've got such a player advantage. It's just Sire player, and he's over by Art. He's so far away. Once again, T1 being bulldozed here.
And Munchkin just isolated once again. A position where he can't have a say ahead of the execute. Then nobody can drift ahead of Som's utility to try and bail him out. In these sorts of setups, you want to see Munchkin just completely abandon site, concede it, and commit towards a 5v5 retake, but I'm not sure if that gets lost in the comms or what. NRG, yeah, like I said, as soon as he's revealed, the game plan is there. Isolate him, pressure him, find the kill.
This worries me, Mike. I want to see an early timeout from T1. I mean, keep in mind, this problem feels like it's kind of poured in from that second half of the second map. They had that break, obviously, to go back after map 2 and kind of talk about what's coming in. There's the timeout, thankfully. I think this is just a big adjustment. These players look quiet. We've not seen much from Sire player yet. I think only 1 kill posted thus far. But it's not even that. It's approaching this game. It feels
they haven't
so
had a say in these rounds. It's not as if they've been able to. They haven't been able to get into a position to really, you know, define the outcome at all. NRG have had absolute freedom. Again, I think that's symbolized by how deep they're able to take control on these A-side post plants. That's just something that can't happen. I hate to say it. It's not down to Munchkin. Again, as the solo anchor, you don't want to see him committing to the engagement, but you give NRG a little bit of room to maneuver, and look what they do with it.
Oh, this is dreamy for them. They couldn't ask for a better half. I'm got to say, T1 haven't been in this game since that second half of the second map. It feels it's been a drought since that point. The gear that NRG have kicked into, fantastic, good to see, but I want to see a fight out of T1. I need to see a whole lot more than this. This is now getting to worrying territory. If they don't answer back in the next 3, put a fork in it, it's done sort of deal. You know what I mean? This is scary times. Yes, it's caliber of player, it's experience as well. T1 don't have that depth in the same sort of way. But still, the first 2 maps looked so much better. How Lotus looked was great. I want to see a bit of that here. Need to see more than this. NRG not going to turn down this opportunity. You've got a weakened team against you who's not putting up that same sort of performance. Absolutely. Take it with both hands. But can T1 course correct now? What more can they bring to this matchup as NRG look to at least posture towards B-Long early?
Versus EDG, it was Munchkin and Sire to put up massive numbers on the defensive half. And so far, barely a squeak. Munchkin playing way ahead of his utility here.
You love that.
Love to see it.
Besides
had an inkling to drift back a little deeper. Obviously only a Sheriff in hand. It's not a massive issue in this round, but Trailblazer will clear the way. Flash through to mid as well from Carpe should indicate that this is fairly invested, fairly all in from NRG.
Yep, Artist comfortably going to take away the turret. See the site take in mind here from NRG. Have seen that flex down towards Pit and further towards CT as well. This time though, T1 do have bodies on the site. We do have the additional player towards Pit, that being Zeta. Little check towards Art, make sure nothing's going on. But actually the spike goes that way too. Could cause a problem on the cross. The side going to catch one, but he does get quickly traded. So once again, this kind of offset of timing.
30 seconds
Not
left.
particularly dissuading NRG. Is T1 going to retake towards the site? And it's comfy. FNS and Artist all too prepared, all too ready. NRG not feeling any strain at all.
Too light investment here from T1. Maybe trying to get ahead of the curve and prevent that spike from going down. First time NRG haven't had to rely on that spike being planted. Bladestorm online now for Ardis. And closer and closer to a couple of other ultimates. T1 reckoning in hand for ban, but yeah, it's 2 or 3 away from a couple of the others.
Okay, right place though. T1, they've got bodies here.
Out of my way.
Side player wanting to fight. And Artist willing to give him it. 6 to
far
1
up
so
he is.
far, it's clean. No trade potential, nothing to support him. Side player out on an island.
I mean, he's isolated so easily by Som's utility. That's a free opener here for NRG. We'll be able to slow things down on the back of that first blood now. Wait out this first wave of util. Crash is probably going to clear things out with the Trailblazer here. Som might even invest the reckoning behind it. Definitely now with Carpe showing his hand.
There you go, Sight looking very much on a platter here. Ardis, take a couple of steps, he's feeling it. NRG just, this is a bit of a shame to see it kind of whimper out like this so far. Zeta and Munchkin, I mean Munchkin's on the other side of the map. Zeta's not really had a say in this one. And NRG just outclassing T1 as it stands.
Yeah, not having a say in these rounds once again. Saya isolated, and after that, it's, I mean, a really awkward crossroads. Yeah, do we commit to the engagement ahead of the site here? Reckoning's thrown in. There's no value whatsoever on the back of it. Barely even slows NRG down because T1 don't have the numbers to flood behind that ultimate. That's what you need to do with that ult. It's create chaos and take some space back, but it doesn't happen. And T1 now trailing by 6.
This is gonna break the hearts of T1 too.
Give me those blocks.
It's quite hard to watch it because it's all individual fights. It's all just dribs and drabs.
enemy remaining.
Nothing working for T1 here. And yeah, I just noticed it now. Another timeout coming for T1 because they know this is do or die now.
Well, it's concerning because Bind obviously showed that they had an inability to really kind of innovate on the fly, right? Come up with some responses to NRG's approach to that second half, and already here, I mean, what you said, you give it another 3 rounds, you call it wraps. With what we've seen so far, it definitely feels that way. Like I said, we're only coming into round 7.
I think the thing for me is the way that we've got here. I would like, obviously, if we take it, you know, from an NRG perspective, they're doing exactly as prescribed. They are following the instructions to a T as to how to play this, but they've had no resistance.
Yeah, that's
Nothing has dissuaded them.
Exactly.
We've seen a little bit of an aggression coming out from side play, for example. Let's take that, right? Throws it in. One, you noted it. The utility work alone coming out from who was it? Som? Just set up Ardis for the most favorable fight. There was never any threat to Ardis being traded, and if he goes down, it had been, you know, as said, he decided to pull off a miracle. Following that, the ult gets used. There's no threat behind it. Ban invests the ult. There's no one there to make much of it, and they fall 1 by 1. Again, there hasn't been any resilience to NRG just having their way through this map. T1 need to wake their players up right now. This can't be how they go out of this. Again, this is a playoff spot on the line. This is that difference. This is that jump up of capability. You're seeing it here, and you're watching T1 crumble under that pressure.
T1's response looks like it might be to switch up Munchkin once again. Body stacked up towards the A side. NRG though, quite a little bit of space to work with once again. Again, the Fact Finder's coming out now through mid. Will be at the cost of a lot of progress made down B long.
I've got your trail.
Look for Munchkin to get the hell out of sight here and not fall ahead of this site here, and Crashies will find him.
There's another.
Side says, nothing to disrupt the plan either. Get a little bit of heal up there, yep.
Time to hunt.
And now, how do you look threatening? Well,
I mean, Crashies got a Trailblazer at a post plant.
yeah, that says enough, doesn't it? There's no threat on the way towards the site, And actually, even that Trailblazer going so deep knows that they've got so many more seconds to play with. Right, T1. Show me a little something here. Sai's got full kit on Jet. Maybe able to get into it, but not finding a body to try and take down him. Crashy's just staying alive behind the utility. NRG, unfazed so far. T1 just trying to make it look intimidating, but there's no threat behind it. They're backing away. They find nothing.
Oh, at this point, yeah, they don't want to feed across the ult progress. This one's all but done. Crashies will be spotted.
Oh.
Yeah. And Carpe still falls.
Come on. Nothing's going right for him. Nothing.
Nah.
There's no more timeouts either. There's no more conversations with coach. There's just facing the music. And sometimes there are better teams than you. Sometimes it's a horrifically strong reminder. Again, coming out of APAC, yes, T1, kind of that third place team, did very well in a couple of, the deeper runs there, looking like the team that could do some, a little bit of damage here, picking a map here and there. But then you face an NRG. You face a team who does have that deep run potential, who has that caliber to their name.
Depth is the word I come back to.
It's there. You're
Twice now in this series, across 2 different maps. We're seeing 2 very similar examples. NRG's just in total control. So much freedom. You can see T1 is just so hesitant, apprehensive to push a little deeper here and try and deny this space to NRG. Pick goes down, Plant's going to come in.
I love that Crashy's got a little interested there to try and go a little bit further. This time, though, Van's found Artis. Okay, so first real time we've seen a threat being made of any sort of round. But yeah, the Viper's pit ain't pretty when you got shorties everywhere. He takes down Crashy. Som, only gonna get one. Here we go. Maybe there's some life in them yet. Maybe this is the...
He's got another snake bite, though.
After reignites the fire, but can anyone close in? Yes, Munchkin. Well done. Finally, they get around. Finally.
And Carpe, I think, able to find 2 kills with the Sheriff inside the pit there. And like you said, there was Shorty stacked up. Artis, unfortunately, falls to a wallbang. And just, again, it's just so chaotic, though. What are the tangibles that T1 latch onto? In terms of that round victory, it gets them on the board, yes, but can they build upon it?
I got money. Need something?
All right, do it again. Got a lockdown. We got Seekers.
Well, T1 finally hitting it what feels like a complete old cycle here.
Yeah.
1 off the Blade Storm, 1 off the pit as well. So in a position to potentially make this backstretch of rounds interesting here. Sire player tucked up in art. First time Victor's really going to challenge this position.
I think they had contact in last round, but no commitment behind it. That time there's a commitment. Side player wins it. That's perfect. Again, man advantage. Follow-up found. Artis goes down. This is the T1 we need to be seeing. Where's that next layer of threat going to come from? Finesse fancies odds. Wins the fight too. Side player going to fall. Okay, bring it back down to a 4v3 now.
A pause for thought here. I think Crash is going to head across and heal Finesse. We pull out the pit from Zeta. Tries to cure a site here as Munchkin's still got his setup, still got a lockdown to commit as well if it all goes wrong for him. NRG probably going to try and find the space here through double doors. So when, or where Carpe is actually going to invest this flash.
Slow
30
progress being
seconds
made
left.
down B link. You've got 2 more players waiting on the site. That setup is going to be a nuisance. Contact made. Can't be as subtle as they'd like, and there's that lockdown. And there's the swing. Carpe, good timing, and the follow-up flash. Perfect work from Munchkin as well. T1, there it is. Not out of it yet.
Potentially need another 2 rounds like that to chip away at the finances of NRG. Still got a couple of ultimates to work with. Required a fair amount of investment in terms of the pit and the lockdown on these defensive rounds for T1. We'll force the timeout at least. NRG, I'm going to say, it's not as if it's a misstep here. They're starting to explore the map elsewhere. Ardis unfortunately caught off guard with a wallbang in the previous, now a blind spam into a smoke, I believe. So these are curveballs that T1 haven't necessarily achieved so far in this half that have amounted to round wins, though.
Yeah, you take them when you get them, especially when you've had none of them before, but you're right. But again, for NRG, they still have another timeout to burn if they feel they need it on the second half anyway. I don't mind it as like a check-in. Maybe something that Chet's seen that they feel like they could just at least tweak up a little bit here so they don't run into a little bit of a flat point. Don't mind it at all. But this is given chance, right? This is given a little bit of an opportunity to at least close the gap. Now, NRG, obviously, they're going to be on 7 regardless, but it's what's T1 get, really? Do they manage to close in the gap? Does NRG kind of pick back up where they left off? Nice purchase coming out for T1, though. Got to see that operator, sire player, going to get the chance to bring that through. What does NRG lean back to? They go back to this B piece? That worked quite well sometimes, but it looks like maybe even T1 are considering that too. So, lots of consideration here. Lots to be looked at, and I want to see sire player shine a little in this one. Lovely to see him have a game. Noting here, Munchkin going to be littering the ground with that setup over towards A. Going to have the support as well from Zeta, but that's about it. It's a 3-play stack towards B long. And NRG willing to meet this as well.
Now with the operator in hand, can T1 string something together?
Okay, they've got to note players pushed up now. Very, very telling. How much play does Sire get on this one? Ball goes up, NRG looking to try and dismantle this aggressive stance. Sire player with a chance and it just dwindles. Didn't connect on the shot and he has to respect it now.
A bit of spam comes through. Ardis will be healed up. NRG will pause behind this. Trailblazer won't find anything. An unorthodox wall here from T1 to try and deny some of this space behind Pillar, but side player is getting curious once again.
Oh no, that's so many players on the other side of this though. He's being spammed out! He must have been seeing there's a ping towards it. They must have known something was up because NRG now burst towards the site. It's Bam on the back trying to hold them. Trying to keep them away from the site and keep numbers! He's done more than that! Takes down Victor, takes down Crashies, and he's still trying to isolate. Swats out Finesse, he's wanting more, and he's getting more! The final victim on the other side, spawning out Som. Ban is desperate for this, he'll give it over to Carpe. And at this point, you'll take the round.
This is after NRG get a freebie, I guess, on Sire being spotted. Like you said, the ping comes through, so
don't know how.
It's 3 people spamming towards that position. But the difference being here, finally, this 3-man hold towards B site actually pays off for T1. Previously, it's Munchkin isolated, punished time and time again, and T1 left cowering behind the utility of NRG. 3 on the board.
It's huge. It's given them. It's a small chance, but it is a chance.
We're talking about the finances as well. Actually, only another round away from removing this massive advantage that NRG had.
But look at NRG exploiting these adjustments. You're bringing that 3rd man towards B early on. Well, sure, where are you going to take him from? Middle, cool, we'll take that. They have literally just taken over the middle of the map, so any rotation is going to feel horrific. So if maybe they pressure on that A extremity, they do this, it's going to cost them so much.
The read is perfect that T1 will now shift the reliance onto that 3-man stack on B. Find the space, but let's just convert to a plant.
Munchkin getting close. And he gets, well, dealt a terrible hand. Ardis all too ready for it. Crash is starting to take towards the side. Plant going to come in. Now you may note it as well, Zeta is still here towards Pit. You have Ban as well, playing towards Secret. Lockdown invested too.
We up a lot of time here. And NRG taking the space elsewhere. Sire's got to be careful. Ban's found the kill onto Victor. Oh. Timing's awful though, some will fall.
It's game back on. 4v3, making a 4v2. Ban is activating. There's Crashies in FNS. Got so many targets to get through. Make it just Crashies. I don't think he's got the time on this one, but he's doing the best he can. That's only towards halfway. Still an opportunity, and it goes. Carpe's there, Diffuse comes in. T1 are back in the game.
The plant comes through, so I think NRG's purchase will be protected here. Won't be any gaps in utility. Somehow, some way, There's a chance we close out this half at 7-5. Like I said, a couple of these, I don't want to say 50-50s or coin flips, now going in favor of T1, which was completely absent in that first stretch of rounds. Just nothing was coming off for them.
Yeah, the activation of ban is massive. 13-5. Starting to come online here. Sitting anti-flash with the operator with Sire player, goes back in. Oh, it's quick as lightning! Sire player falls away. And that's Crash, he's removed. So much of that ease of access to the site now gets taken out of NRG's hands.
Get out of my way.
For their Snow, trying to find space on the other side of the map. A little bit more proactive. We did see this early on in the half, but Munchkin's utility is going to be there to spot things out. Don't think he's sure.
No, I was wondering if Sire player was...
Well, there is a ping, actually. A ping comes through on the minimap.
Okay, definitely noted something. There's that look. Oh, FNS just gets backhanded down to 23.
He catches the headshot through the wall here as NRG try and find this rotation. It's drawn all of T1 over already. Going to leave Sire to anchor with that operator.
Munchkin just drifting in the open. But as you highlighted, the cavalry had arrived. Right, the supporters here, and Ban, the man of the hour who started to come alive for T1, has made it to the site. The spike goes down, and the last player standing will be Artis. A 1v4 for him. 19 seconds and a hope in hell. 5-7. We finally have a game on our hands now.
What a recovery from T1. To bring this back to a position where it's only a 2-round deficit. Absolute miracle workers here. He said Ban the one to really make this a possibility.
One enemy remaining.
Very top-heavy scoreboard on the side of T1.
This is an incredibly close game now, and 2 streaks of rounds. Who knows what the mental's gonna be like for these two teams? What I do know is the desk is waiting down.
Thank you so much for that, and Kakuka, it was very obvious that one of the things that we were missing at the start of this was, honestly, the guns from T1. They weren't finding the shots, they weren't finding what they needed, but they managed to rally back in a very big way.
We were getting ready to probably the first 13-0 here after how close every single matchup has been. And then, what happened? They just appeared again. We, of course, have to highlight the first rounds from NRG. Just playing the basics of this comp. I don't think that they were going too deep into doing something crazy. They were just very consistent and very confident on their steps.
Yeah, it was very fundamental from NRG, just going for a lot of these straight-ups. 7-6, they were finding some good gaps in these late rounds, and T1 looked boomed. You could see the faces of the players on the stage. They looked out of it. But then it was a couple little plays, like Ban's 4K, that started to be the catalyst to get them back in. And sometimes that's all it takes. Just one round, one moment that you can rally behind to start to believe you have a chance again. And they pulled so much momentum off of that. Now 5 rounds in a row as we switch sides.
That came off of a NRG timeout, so you know that that also had to have boomed the NRG side as well, when you would think that maybe there was going to be an opportunity for them to try and get back into this one. But as we get ready for this next half, Kakuka, curious to see how T1 tries to get in this, because all they need at this point to tie is a pistol on the next.
Yeah, exactly. And as we can see now in the graphic, the attack win percentage is not that high up. Definitely they still have a hill to climb on this second half. It's not going to be easy, but already having the mental resilience to come back from an 0-7 says a lot about this squad.
It's impressive thus far, but T1 need to shore up an issue they had last map, which was their post plans. They generally struggle with that here on Pearl as well, and one of NRG's strengths with this composition is flooding back in with the harbor wall up. Their protocols on it are excellent. T1 needs to keep this momentum.
Yeah, we know the pieces are there, but can they put it together to close it out, or will it be NRG's day? We're gonna find out in just a moment. Let's send it back over to Pansy and Hypoc.
Thank you, yeah, 5 in a row for T1, bringing this game back to touching distance, because I thought this was gonna be a blowout, Mike. I thought this one was wrapped. The mental looked absolutely shattered as T1 were unable to make any semblance of damage, and a flip was switched. I don't know how they did it, but they certainly did.
And the concern being really is T1 struggling the other day versus EDG. I think they managed 3 first bloods on their attacking half. They were constantly playing from a deficit. Have to hold that fort for the time being, because it might be a brawl here outside pillar. Saya gonna open things up. Finesse fall. Carpe doubles down though.
Yeah, Crash, he's caught with his hands full here. Ardiski, you gotta swing, he has nowhere to go. There's Storm up to catch the cross. You gotta go huge, he's got 2. That may not be enough, leaving Victor with it all to do.
The clutch man.
Victor with a classic, I mean, there's a real chance on this, hold on. All right, show me what you got here. Side player looks unaware of the chance, but he snapped back real quick.
Pistol on the board, a chance to tie things up off the rip here in the second half. NRG looking to be a bit proactive here in the pistol, and it's punished. See if that trend does continue. If they feed into it, well, potentially giving T1 a little momentum booster here in the second half.
1 enemy remaining.
Momentum, name of the game. Can they keep it clean though? Can they try and find some real confidence off a round like this? Just eco-cobra it out. Gonna hear that Marshall rattle off a couple of shots.
And this is the man you want to see get some of those eco-cobra frags, Saya.
True.
A very rough first half. Get some early progress here towards the Blade Storm. Could be the catalyst here for T1.
Be careful of the stack though. As it sounds, all 5 players are here from NRG.
Careful. Here.
Slow and cautious progress being made by T1. Side player trying to keep track of all of this. And it is go time now. How much danger? Oh, come on! They haven't seen him! They haven't seen him at all! And now the reveal. What can NRG do? That's what they can do! Artis rips away 2 of the players. Zeta and Carpe left in tatters on the floor. And Artis, the last man alive with 13 HP. How lucky is he feeling? Not very. They made a little bit of a problem out of that round, Mike, but it wasn't enough to do much more than that.
Yeah, draw some blood. It's 2 Bulldogs saved across from this. Obviously the Marshall coming in, a pistol as well. A lot of artist love actually with the...
You know, he deserves
yeah, no, I'm fine with it, yeah.
He deserves it. We didn't give him enough love in
pictures.
him yet. Could have picked maybe some better ones. You're not who am I to judge?
T1 will throw a couple of stingers back in here. Try and protect the purchase here in the bonus. Good progress already, actually, for Ban. Towards the Reckoning. T1 looking to continue the trend here. Big long pressure early on.
Yep. They look like they're committed behind us too, yeah. Away they go. Let's see how Sire player gets on, how he fares. Just going to slip through towards CT, apparently. Dips back in, though, has a second glance, and now he falls. It's only Munchkin to really do any damage so far as Ban. Taking down his own teammate if he could. And a 3v4, though. Victor watching that cross out. Carpe pinned it, swings out, isolates. Ban! Beautiful! Victor shredding T1. And Munchkin a little late to the party here. Yeah, put to bed. Crashies. Keeps cool. NRG take back control of this series.
4 left standing as well. Obviously, we know T1 protected the purchase here, so... Actually, Sire down at 3100. Didn't even spot that in the previous, so we'll only have a Guardian to work with. No Blade Storm available just yet. Sire just chomping at the bit, desperate to find an engagement, but NRG... Damage limitation being key here. Sire not given a chance to really have a say in that round. T1 continuing though, again stacked up outside B long.
They're going back to it. Spray comes in. Somehow
I'm not sure where are those shots are coming, but...
How are both players standing? No problem. They're going to force the utility to be invested a little later on. Still a question mark maybe towards the back of the screen there. Could be playing, just find that wall, but there's that early progress of the ult you noted with Ban, so that should be able to kind of help them out towards the site. Take plenty of bodies on the site, though. It's going to get one on the way. Zeta goes down. They're still trying to be a nuisance, still be a problem. Play to the madness of this, but they're not committing with that spike.
And NRG able to actually deny the plant as well. The ultimate being reinvested here will clear out a lot of this space, and T1 will be left licking their wounds as they retreat away. We'll leave Munchkin posted up, but again with an alarm bot here, there's a chance he's still going to be neutered a little bit in terms of his abilities to lurk through.
Now the pinch will come down.
30
towards
seconds
Link.
left.
FNS, the one to maybe feel the brunt of it, does have the turret there though as well. That's going to be taken care of. Trying to bolster himself as best he can towards this. The timing on the crunch is everything. Munchkin, that's not it. Outdone, and now suddenly they've got a little bit of room to fall towards. Oh, towards long for NRG. The cross, going to be watched, going to be punished. Perfect, FNS. No access to the site now. Nice pivot from T1, but it went nowhere.
Beautiful adjustment here with the poison orb. Finesse and Victor then stack up, commit towards this crossfire on long, isolate Munchkin, and regain control. Oh, this actually finds a blind kill. I said the timing of the investment, or the reinvestment I should say, when Som actually gets closer towards B site, it denies the plant. Even then the Trailblazer clears inside the cove. There's lots of information gathered by NRG that allows them to play that perfectly.
It looks like a brawl. Sheriff, so all the T1 can really claim. That's going to do well, but the rest of NRG clearing up. All the two players from T1.
What a beautiful snake bite from Finesse, by the way. Lands perfectly here at the choke point and allows NRG to find these kills. Munchkin slipping through. We'll find a response, but 2v3. And Spike firmly in control of NRG.
This does fall a great deal towards Munchkin's capability to do something with this. That flash is going to really sell out Zeta. It looks like Munchkin's going to try and join him potentially. So many bodies on the other side of this though. Far better equipped. Yeah.
They're close. They're close. They're catching a little bit of a jump scare there. Yeah, I haven't actually spotted Finesse sending that snake bite previously, but no, it's just a perfect read here after not much success on B long. Anticipating here, but it definitely makes the anti-eco a little more comfortable.
Will we get it again? We'll see. He actually might get it again, I wonder. Flash there, T1, going to work on forward. NRG this time actually rescind back, not going to take the challenge on this one with the by the side T1. This is a key round for T1 if they want to try and keep into this matchup. NRG doing what they need to get to those double digits.
They have Lockdown and Seekers to potentially clear out a lot of space on A here. After the initial pump, Ardis might be greeted outside R. There's a chance to isolate Zeta, but that has now passed. We have a couple more members of T1 staring him down. Yeah, T1 looking to pinch behind this Lockdown.
He's got to overdo this, and he ain't going to do anything. Sire player, great work. Art now available, they can access towards the site. Crash is just trying to spam away. Does catch Munchkin with a little bit of damage, but the site should be theirs. Let's see if NRG play back in. They do a little. Some getting closer. Tap on the spike. Seek's going to come through. Note the player very, very close by. One towards pit. Counter lockdown.
Forced out. We'll force them back to main and a little deeper in R. Finesse also positioned here outside connector. It's taking NRG a little while to take the space. One detained here. Finesse, can he find it?
FNS is close by. There's a support system. Carpe there to defend Sire player. And now Crash is trying to find one towards what?
What is that?
Man, nasty with it there, finding both players. And it's just Som left alive now. So much to do, and he ain't going to be able to do it. T1 make it through the round. 4 alive, closing back in on this gap.
Again, key that 4 are left standing here. Gives them a chance to solidify their position in terms of the finances as well. NRG, full repurchase forced. Beautiful stuff from Carpe as well to bail out Sire player there after being detained. But back within touching distance here. 2 rounds separate them.
I see Ardis, I see Operator, I also see T1 going that way.
Yeah.
I get excited. Don't underwhelm me, Ardis. I've missed watching your games. Let's see what you got here. 13 to 10. Make it 14. In it goes, as does Ardis. Dips away, doesn't want to outstay his welcome. The rest of T1 starting to pressure towards the side a little more, trying to work around that ult. Ardis not fully falling away from this just yet. Forced to respect a little, but not a lot. Shorty on the other side. Site now being taken. Victor going to be isolated. Can't be helped out here. Wall's in the way. Carpe's the one to get him. Back down to a 4v4 now.
Come back through. Crashes does have the Seekers, a flash available as well. Invested here. You want to get back on site as quickly as possible. It doesn't clear too much space.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't give the full picture here. Ardis want to take those next couple of steps. He has to go in unison, though. Carpe waiting. Saya delivering. That's Ardis gone. He got crashes too. Oh! Saya player! What a time to come alive!
Completely blind on the second there. Beautiful stuff. And immediately, NRG gonna call a timeout on the back of this. T1 starting to make him sweat here.
Flash. Nice surprise we see another one in the feed.
Guys.
Big round from Saya. Talked about him having a quiet first half. Starting to find his footing a little bit here, Lawrence.
Needed that. I mean, Ban's leading by a country mile. The guy's on 21 to 9. Huge influence, not just in this half, but that first half. He was the one that brought them those couple of rounds that got them back in this game. And now we look towards Saya player. Is this when he starts finding that hot hand here as well? Because those two with a 1-2 punch, right? They look good in the last game. They need a lot of that to come through here.
It was noted, it was actually Saya that, obviously we're talking about the first blood versus EDG.
Yeah.
Constantly T1 were having to play from behind, conceding a first blood and having to equalize. Actually in mid-round, it was very rare in an early round trade. We were talking about versus EDG, their inability to force Kang deeper on the operator, you know, the lack of focus around utility in the early round. Yes, it's stylistically a very different game here from NRG, but T1 now showing that they have that in their wheelhouse, the ability to do it once again.
I'm so glad they woke the hell up, Mike. I was so worried they'd go with such a whimper into map 3. I'll take this. Even if T1 lose from now on out, I don't care. They've had a little bit of something brought back into this matchup, and NRG forced into that timeout, clearly feeling that stress. Feeling like they didn't have all the answers. For now, it starts with map control. Over towards 8, all gathered. It looks like they'll leave Ardis up here for a second.
Yeah, Munchkin's on the other side of it. Seemingly no awareness on either side. Well, a rare miss from Ardis. Has to try and get the hell out of there. He's caught! Munchkin found two!
He doubles down on it, Munchkin is out of his mind! Catching crashes is everything! You'd almost cut your losses at Ardis, but the find on the second is unforgivable. Devastating impact. And now you look at it, the bigger picture too. Evan is still on a stinger. I mean, he's trying to take some space towards long. He has no idea what's waiting on the other side. There's 4 players up here. He's walking into the den. Zero awareness of it. Tried to do a bit of damage on their shore, but it was never going to be enough. And now down to Victor and Som. Good luck.
Som's obviously very disconnected from this. Is he leaning towards saving that operator?
Surely.
Can Victor go clutch once again for NRG? No, he can't. Only Carpe claimed here. Som probably heading back towards picking that operator up.
There it is. Get it and go. This is going to be 10 apiece. We've got a game on our hands. I didn't think we'd be saying
Munchkin,
that.
man.
The
What
first.
an opener.
The first, I'm like, cool, yeah, that's kind of sick tracking. He caught Ardis, you know, is he updrafting and trying to get out of there. The second?
Yeah, 'cause I think Ardis maybe caught off guard, whiffs the shot, but then also whiffs the cloud burst. It goes way off to the wall.
Yeah.
Doesn't give him any safety to dash into, which is why he's forced into the updraft as well. A little bit flustered there on the retreat.
I want to see that from Munchkin's POV as well.
Got the player cam. Yeah. Oh, looking to maybe try and pressure this operator. Ban on the other side of things. Not much time left to try and find it. Again, they've got the funds to support this. Find the first.
And you're down. That's prize possession lost there.
Big denial, actually, because NRG are going to feel the pinch.
I mean, T1 is on like 7.7k on side
Yeah.
player. He's loving it.
Even here, somebody throw Carpe a couple of pennies. It's not
There
a
we go.
1k, but
Ooh.
Beautiful stuff.
It's massive. Yeah, the state of the economy for NRG. You can see why they desperately wanted that operator, Mike. They're left with nothing.
Stacked up here towards Pillar. No resistance early on here from NRG. Oh, Crash is going to have some utility sent his way.
A lot of players here. Som wants to punch ban. Som finding a second. Gonna need a lot more though. Down on 5 HP here. Forcing the hand a little. T1 not having the easiest of times.
Do have the Reckoning to pressure this pit a little bit, but Artist down to 20 HP, Som down to 5. Crashes has fallen, so no heal available. Munchkin could get caught off here.
This is so dangerous. This is so terrifying. FNS is there. Munchkin's gone. It's basically on Zeta here. The only one sitting pretty. He's doing everything he can. NRG, come on, Zeta. What a round.
And NRG try it again. They're so good at flooding these Vipers pits.
True, it's true.
This time around, Zeta pulls out an ace to secure this one. To find T1, they're 11th.
And credit to NRG for even being that threatening. Their buy this round was garbage. It was Guardians, Frenzies, odds and ends. But the pressure was on for Zeta. It was only the two of them left standing. His teammate was down to nothing that final one. Woo!
Insane stuff. Artist though, operator in hand once again. This time around, Syak gonna try and face off against it with an op of his own. Oh! This finds it! Just a pixel exposed.
Artist quite good at this game. Band's gonna try and pick up the mantle. That's a tag towards Carpe too, down to 52. Next angle, adopted. Oh, Artist, you barely see him. You barely see him. He's just a phantom out here. That's another glance. He's basically controlled the side. This round looks wraps just on the back of him. What else are you meant to do?
Munchkin trying to find some space elsewhere, but much looser hold here from Som. Was happy to concede this space. Finesse on the hunt though. And Som will reveal himself, I guess, for a deep position here with what looked like a desk pop.
Okay, so I'm going to watch that cross. Do they have anything to get them across safely? I mean, 2 flashes.
30 seconds left.
Oh.
Oh.
I think he's there.
Yes.
Well, the round has gone from possible to less than. Mike was in hand, and FNS is there. Yeah, lovely. Start to end there, though. That started with Artist, and in some fine fashion, even you were surprised at that pixel that he had spotted there. I think we've got a replay of this, too. Let's have a little look at this one. Come on. Come on.
The adjustment is beautiful. I said here, Ban.
Good
Didn't
angle.
even see him.
Yep.
Didn't even see him. So T1 comfortable in the purchase here, but not, well, yeah, not massive stacks behind this though. No gaps in util. Blade Storm available, it's the only ultimate on the board here.
Let's try and test Artist again though. He will be seen. He's respecting it enough to fall away a little deeper to that next angle, the one that caught Ban off guard. Even further back from that now. There's a Reckoning's gonna come in. How long does he stick around on this? He's staying in this position. Sire player gotta be careful too now. Into the blender. Barely breathing on 8 HP, gonna get a little bit of a heal up. Unfortunately for him, NRG, hold on, up and above we go. Artist wants his name up in lights apparently. It's Sire player to fall off the back of that. There's a long old flank on the way as well. T1 gonna feel surrounded pretty soon. Artist misses, Zeta wins out. And now they give themselves a little bit of pocket of safety to play in.
The awareness here of where was the flank. Do they prioritize small? Do they push deeper? Carpet's going to find one. Victor, he will find the trade though. He finds a second.
They had to have won that fight against Victor, otherwise now there's problems. It's a 3v2. Zeta's still alive though, Munchkin's still there. Tap on the spike, but he gives something away. FNS, so heads up. And now Munchkin, he's got to play the time just right here. Crash is trying to defend. FNS, he goes for it. The defuse is through. NRG make it to 12.
Total faith in his teammate there. Finesse sticking the defuse. A T1 unable to make the right decision in such a high pressure situation.
I even like the idea, but it's just like they couldn't get that fight on Victor.
It's Victor on the other side of it though.
He knew that he was the target.
Yep.
He knew that that was where they wanted to be. Once that crunch comes in, once they felt that pressure, they had to fight back somewhere. And Victor's just playing so perfectly in that. 11 to 12 though, we ain't out of it yet. There's still a buy in this one. T1. It's OT or it's GG.
Are they
gotta do something?
Are they destined to see another overtime here on Pearl? Getting forced down now with 2 Bulldogs in the inventory. Do have the Seekers available, but this Munchkin's lockdown is the next objective here. If they can secure orb control here. NRG switching things up though. Look at this.
4-man walk middle. I don't believe what I'm seeing. The timing on Windows ban check. Van's having a look back here. He's just looked away. He's no idea they slipped through. Oh, the timing! Oh, he's made it! Oh, no! Heartbreak for Ban! He's absolutely fumbled in the hour of need. Perfectly positioned for it. They're not out of it yet, though. There's still a chance, but that could have been everything.
Munchkin does get the lockdown off this, but again, with no progress, Zeta has been sat at the top of B long here. Saya, a little bit disconnected. And a defensive lockdown comes through. 30 seconds left on the clock. Will prevent the plant from coming through, and counter lockdown invested to maybe catch the backside of this. Saya finds Crashies. Still doable here.
He's giving them a chance here. Lockdown just going to tick through now. Next couple of seconds. Can they get the plant safely? It looks like Victor wants to try and deny. Munchkin, he's got it down. Okay, get out of there. Into the post plant now. 3v3. Art still standing. Som still alive. And Victor is there. And when Artist stands, he delivers. Diffuse started. Who can stop him? Anyone. They've got to try and get him off. Som's not stopping until now. Forced to relinquish that Diffuse for a second. A 3v2 though. Munchkin and Zeta's still desperately trying to pressure this. NRG now standing in numbers. Another tap on the spike. Som takes down Zeta. It's all on Munchkin. He tried his best, but it was never gonna be enough. NRG 13 to 11.